Hi everyone, welcome to November Turn Inward, day 9. I'm sorry I was not there yesterday, or I was not here to give you guys a yoga flow. I just needed a day to do nothing, and that day was yesterday. Just had a lot going on. It's part of life. So anyways, happy to be back with you here today. And as you know, today's prompt is all about looking at parts of ourselves that we haven't had time to look at lately, and just thinking about how we can shine more light on those parts of ourselves. So that being said, we're going to do some different yoga poses today for about the next 10 or 15 minutes. And that being said, we're going to start off in a little rock pose first. So coming onto your knees, if you need to grab a pillow or a blanket to place under your knees just to make it more comfortable, go ahead and do that now. Hit the pause. And then when you come back, go ahead and you can either sit on your heels with your feet untucked, but because I think it's so good for us to stretch those parts of our body, we don't often stretch very often, I'll encourage you to go ahead and sit up and tuck your toes under, okay? So starting with some screaming toes, we're just gonna move through our breath for about the next 10 rounds of breath, okay? So sitting up nice and tall, take a big inhale. And exhale, let it all go. Again, inhale. Exhale, let it all go. Inhale, breathe in through the nose. Exhale. A few more rounds here. Inhale, breathing in through the nose, fill it all up. Exhale, let it go. I know it's tough, I'm right there with you. These screaming toes are hard. 2 more breaths, inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale, and slowly start to come forward. Just untuck those toes. I'm gonna go ahead and turn to the side so y'all can see. Just begin to tap your feet out on the ground. We are on the screaming toes there for about a minute. Yeah, you can really feel it. So once we're here in this tabletop position, we'll go ahead and bring our palms under our shoulders, our knees under our hips. Begin to drop your belly, lift your gaze, look up towards the sky, inhale. Exhale, curve the spine, bring your gaze inward. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, cow pose. Exhale, curve the spine. Go ahead and move through this 3 more times, just inhaling and exhaling. Last time here. Go ahead and meet me in that neutral spine. And then start to draw some circles with your hips, just like how it sounds, like making circles back and forth, or barrel rolls is what they're often called. And then maybe add in the shoulders, just circling around in one direction and switching it up for the other. Nice work, couple more breaths here. Go ahead and meet me back in that neutral tabletop position. On your next inhale, begin to sweep the right arm open towards the sky. See if you can open that hand just a little bit wider. And then go ahead and find some of those little pulses. Just opening our heart more. Imagine you're opening those parts of you that don't get as much light. Then go ahead and pause, open as wide as you can. Inhale here. Exhale, thread that arm under, through to the left side. Inhale, open. Exhale, thread. Inhale, open. Exhale, thread. Set everything on the ground. Go ahead and walk that hand out in front of you. We'll stay here for a couple of breaths. If you'd like, you can bring that arm back behind you, just opening the heart here. Couple more inhales and exhales. Again, imagining you're opening up those dark spaces when we open our hearts. Seeing what you can shine in there. Slowly begin to move that left hand back in front of your face. Gently sweep the right arm up, big open here. Exhale, bring that right hand back to the mat. Find 2 rounds of cat and cow. Go ahead and meet me in the neutral tabletop position, and then begin to sweep that left arm open towards the sky. See how far you can open it, just a little bit more, even just a millimeter. And then start to invite in those little pulses. Just opening even more. And then go ahead and pause, take an inhale here, look up. And then exhale, thread that arm through to the right side. Inhale, open. Exhale, thread. Inhale, open. And then exhale, thread. Set everything on the ground. That right hand can stay as is. Walk out in front of you to invite some light in on the back side. Heart opener for inviting in trust. Or wrapping that arm around behind you for a bind, reaching towards the inside of that left thigh. Inviting in some light on the front part of your heart. Stay here for 2 more breaths. And go ahead and bring that right hand back in front of your face. Sweep the left arm high. And then exhale, bring it back to earth. Find 2 rounds of cat and cow. And then when you're ready, tuck those toes under, lift your hips. Find your downward facing dog. Stay here for a couple of breaths, just walking out your dog, lifting one heel and then the other. And then slowly start to walk your hands back just a couple of times so that you're in this different version of down dog. Not fully down dog, your hands are a little closer to your feet. But now you're going to start to bend your knees, lift your heels, come into a bear pose. You might need to walk those hands out just a little bit more so that you have a flat back and those palms are under your shoulders. So we're going to hold here for a couple more moments, taking some deep inhales through the nose, exhale through the mouth, inhale, exhale, one more deep inhale. And then exhale, gently tap your knees to the ground. And then inhale, lift them up. Exhale, lower them down. Inhale, lift them up. One more time. Exhale, lower them down. Inhale, lift them up. Then walk those hands out in front of you. Come into a high plank, okay? We're going to start to gently spin our feet to the left. Open that right arm up to the sky. Come into a side plank. We'll be here for just a couple of breaths. Building that strength we need to look at those parts of us that we don't always shine light on. And then slowly lower that right hand to the ground. Spin your heels to the right. Open that left arm up towards the sky. Think about not letting that hip fall down. Lift it up just a little bit higher. Maybe stack those feet if you want. Even lift a foot if you want. Couple more breaths. Stay with it. Build that strength. And then exhale. Come back to your plank. And then come to a down dog. Slowly begin to lift your right foot up overhead. Take a big inhale here. And then exhale. We'll place that foot up in between our 2 hands. Coming into a lunge, start to shine your heart forward. And then gently place that left hand on the inside of your right foot and begin to spin that right arm open towards the sky. So option to drop the left knee down if you need, but keep it up if you like. Again, we're just building some strength, getting into some of those awkward poses that feel harder to breathe through. Take a couple more breaths here. And now we will lower that left knee down as we push off the ground. Come into an awkward twist. Inhale, continue to find length through your spine. And then exhale, drop that right hand back behind you. Bring the left arm high. 2 more breaths here. And then slowly cartwheel those hands down to the mat. Tuck the back foot under. Bring the right foot back to meet the left. And then lower yourself down to the ground. And then shine your heart forward. Come into a high cobra or an up dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful work. We'll stay here for a couple more breaths. Just breathing in deeply and exhaling even longer. On your next inhale, begin to lift that left foot up overhead. And then exhale, step it through up in between your two hands. Stay here for a moment, maybe walk that back leg in if you need. Start to shine your heart forward. And then place your right hand on the inside of that left foot. And if you have a block, now would be the time to grab that block and place it on the inside of the foot. Sorry, I didn't call it off the other side. And gently start to open up towards the sky here, reaching that arm just a little bit higher, maybe even a little further back, just feeling more of a heart opening, okay? We'll stay here for a couple more breaths. Again, option to drop that knee if you like. One more big inhale. And then exhale, drop the knee. Inhale, come on up into that awkward twist. Bring your gaze over that back hand. Find length through your spine. And then exhale, drop the left hand back. The right arm comes up and over. Continue looking over that back shoulder. Couple more breaths here. And then exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the mat. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Flow through it. Meet me in a down dog. We'll take 2 rounds of breath here. And then on your next inhale, begin to lift that right foot high. Before we pull it through, let's go ahead and stack our hips. Let your right foot hang to the left side. Find some circles with your ankle and with your hip. And then go ahead and bring it back through center. Put a flex in that foot behind you. And then go ahead and step that foot all the way forward, coming into that lunge again. Start to shine your heart forward. And then gently start to lift your arms up overhead. We're going to stay here for a moment, just finding some nice balance, bringing stillness into this pose that's building a lot of strength. And then on your next inhale, reach tall. Exhale, find a little back bend as you open your heart. Yeah, going right into some tough stuff here. Letting that light shine in where it's needed. One more round of breath here. Big inhale, reach tall. And then exhale, start to come forward, lightning bolt, reaching towards whatever is in front of you, whatever you need. And one more time, inhale, come on up, find that cactus. Exhale, come forward. Last time, cactus. And then inhale, come all the way down with your hands. Push that back foot off the ground. Come into a standing splits as best as you can. Even if that foot's just a centimeter off the ground, try to get it lifted. And then maybe play with some balance, grabbing your ankle with your hands. Couple more breaths here. And then go ahead and bring those hands down to the ground, lower the left foot back, step the right foot back, and then flow through that vinyasa, coming up into a high cobra. We'll stay here for a moment, really opening our heart, letting light shine in where we need it. And then inhale, look over your right shoulder. Exhale to the left. Inhale to the right. Exhale to the left. Inhale, come up through center. We're gonna have a cameo from Henry. He's showing us some down dog here. Hi, Henry. All right, guys, so we're gonna begin to lift that left foot up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, step that foot. Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't open our hip first. So keep that foot back high. And go ahead and open it up, stacking your left hip on top of the right.
Finding some circles with your ankle and with your hip. Just opening our hips here in this little flow as much as we can. And then go ahead and bring that left hip back in line with the right and put a flex in that left foot. And then go ahead and step that foot all the way through, coming into your lunge. Begin to shine that heart forward. Maybe step that back foot a little bit if you need. It definitely helps with balance. And then slowly sweep those arms high. Coming into a high lunge here, staying here for a moment. Take a big inhale, reach tall, and then exhale, bend back ever so slightly, open your arms, cactus pose. Really just letting all that light in here. Be open. Be willing to let it in. Shine the light where you need it. And then inhale, reach those arms tall. Exhale, lean forward. Inhale, come on up, find that cactus. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, come on up, cactus. And then exhale, bring those hands all the way to the ground. Push that foot off the ground. Come into a standing splits. Take a couple of rounds of breath here. Maybe shake your head yes and no. Maybe play with some balance. And then gently lower that right foot back to the ground. Step the left foot back to meet the right. Come to a downward dog first, and then flow through your vinyasa. We're just gonna move through one more little sequence before we round out our practice. So go ahead and lift your right foot up. Inhale. Exhale, step it through. Walk your hands over to the left side of the mat. Find a wide-legged forward fold. Try to touch your ankles or your feet. Sway back and forth. And then inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale, slowly rise all the way to standing. Bring your arms up overhead. And then exhale, spin those heels in first. Exhale, come on down into a goddess squat. Again, just letting everything be open, shining in what we need. On your next exhale, slowly begin to bring those arms together, tuck your chin. Inhale, open up. Exhale, bring them together. Inhale, open. One more time, exhale. Inhale. And then slowly begin to turn to your right. Inhale. Exhale, spin to your left. Inhale, come to the right. Exhale, come to the left. I know, feeling awkward, feeling tough. 2 more times here. Building our strength while we let that light into those dark places. Last time, inhale to the right. Exhale to the left. Inhale through center, stand tall, fold forward, walk your hands back to the front of the mat. Step the right foot back to meet the left. Flow through your final vinyasa here. Go ahead and bring those knees down to the ground. Toes come to touch. Find your child pose. Three more breaths here. And just surrendering to the work you're doing, the work you've done. Again, just shine more light into those dark places. Slowly begin to push yourself up ever so slightly, so just not all the way, but lifting your chest and your head off the ground. And you're gonna take your right hand, thread it under your left armpit, and then continue to reach that left arm forward. You're gonna feel a big stretch in between your shoulder blades, inviting in some light, some trust for the back side of the heart. One more round of breath here. Then slowly unwind. Reach that right arm forward. This time, thread the left arm under the right armpit. Reach that right arm over to the left side of the mat. And you should start to feel a big stretch here through the backside body, really opening the heart. And then slowly begin to unwind. Reach those hands forward as you come into a tabletop position. Walk those knees up to meet the wrists. Cross your ankles back behind you. And then go ahead and meet me in an easy seat. We'll take a big inhale. Sweep our arms up overhead. Bring the palms to touch. Lower your palms to your third eye, reminding yourself to always have kind and loving thoughts towards yourself first so you can give them out to the world. Lower your palms to your lips, reminding yourself to always have kind and loving words to yourself first so you can give it out to the world. And last but not least, bow to yourself, reminding yourself to always have kind and loving intentions towards yourself first so that you can always give that love out to everyone around you. Thank you so much for showing up today, everyone. Om Shanti Shanti. Happy writing.